Welcome everybody. This is the Power Options Trading Hangout on Google, www.wavesofprofit.com, and we're going to be looking at what happened during the day, February 5th, 2015. Was there opportunities to make some money? 10% in 10 minutes is our goal, and joining us to see what we can find out is none other than our resident trading expert, Alan Maxwell. Hey Alan, how was today?
Today was great. Let me just take you to a couple charts. So this one was GMCR, and it already had a strong run up. The brown on the bottom is volume, and that was part of the clues. And so I already tagged it as a buy on the call, even though it's the blue star. It looks like it can really do a lot more. And so I'm just moving forward here in time a little bit. And here we go. So 1% so far. And 14%, and that was basically in 2 minutes. And it did go farther, but we don't care. You're going to see why later. I'm gonna show you one of those why 10% is really the thing you want to get. So here's Amazon. This is at 9:45, and it's the classic. You know, this is the more normal stuff that we teach people all the time. So that one's ready to go. So I hit the buy now on the call. So it's making 1, 3, 2%. These are really quite nice. This is the part you don't like. It's like, oh, I'm down a bit. And it's like, yeah, not too much. Everything's still looking good. The market instrumentation still says green. And there's my 10%. And could you got further? Yeah, you could have made a lot more, but we're just going to say 10%. I'm going to back that up to right there, 10%. So there was another one, ACT. And again, same kind of thing. You got a signal. It's above the zone, the risk zone. This one was explosive in the beginning of the morning. You can see that part there was just a huge first few minutes. So that tells me, and that's what the blue star also says, hey, this one looks good for later. Keep an eye on it. So here I already hit the buy now button. And so 7% in 1 minute, and then 2, 3, okay, 4 minutes. And I got my 10%. Could have got more? Well, this is actually why sometimes I don't want to hang around. Is sometimes yes, sometimes no. You just get paid. That's the only goal. Just get out of there and get paid. So then there was another one. Now this one, the market's generally going green, but I wanted to show you this one because you can, when this day was not strong green, strong red, so you can actually buy both sides of the market, not at the same moment. But this stock lately, people don't like it as much. So I already hit the buy on the put side, so we're making money in it. You broke previous low, but the same thing. You got signal color. It's out of the zone. So that's 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so there it is. 13% was on the last one. So we're just going to say thank you and move on. And the last one, yeah, I'm showing you more than 3 today. Even though it's a mediocre day. Here's Tesla, and this one's looking pretty good. And so 3%, 4, 6, 4, 5, 11%. So again, that was done in about 5 minutes. Of course, I was just showing it to you quickly. So those are the trades, and you can see they averaged about 10% or better. And some of them did do a lot better, and some didn't, and that's the whole point, is just get paid and get out.
Beautiful. So we're basically looking at a couple minutes, 10 minutes, 4 minutes, 7 minutes.
Yeah, the longest one we had was 8 minutes, and that was just before the 10 o'clock turn.
Now, when we're talking about the 10%, we're talking about the amount that we put into the trade, not the amount that we have in the account that we would be trading. And
right.
One of the things that we talk about in our training is you don't go all in, right?
No, that's really bad.
So if you had $50,000 in your account, what would be the maximum amount that you would put in any one trade?
Probably about, in that case, 50 grand. I'd probably put about 5 grand on a trade. Because my risk ratio is like $500 loss, so it's 1% of the account. In this case, if you got 5,000 here, you would have made 500, 500, 500. You would have made $2,500. But at any one time, you only had a $500 risk, so to speak. Because if it goes against you by 10%, you really should be gone. You picked the wrong trade.
Right.
And we don't fight it, and you don't want to take big losses. You want to take small ones. So if you're right most of the time and you're making 10%, in a case like what you're saying on that size of account, which is a pretty healthy account, you would have made $2,500, well, more than $2,500 on these trades.
Right. So okay. So let's say it was 20,000, and you did $200. You would have put $2,000 in. You make 10%. That's $200. If you only did that once a day, 5 days a week, that's $1,000 a week, $4,000 a month. So it wouldn't take you too long to grow your account, especially if it's in an IRA in the United States, or we have these tax-free saving accounts in Canada where you're actually not paying anything on it.
Yeah.
Now, we're just going to digress for a second. The Canadian tax man has gotten really kind of concerned about people making a lot of money in those tax-free savings accounts because you're supposed to buy a 1% treasury bond or put it into a savings account which makes 0.2% or whatever the rate is, not 10% in 10 minutes. And so they've talked about going after some traders, and they said, you know, you're actually this is your full-time job, you've made all this money, because some people have a couple $100,000 in their account, and you would have a hard time. I guess a lot of these people are having a hard time defending themselves simply because, I don't know, it's like, I've got a lot of money in here, you've been doing a lot of trading, obviously it's your full-time position. And one of the things that I love about what we say is, like, no, Mr. Taxman, like, I spend 10 minutes a day before I go to work. That's not full-time income. Sorry. There's just no way with our strategy that you could. Obviously they can say whatever they want to say, but I'm just saying, reasonably speaking, when you think of full-time at this, you think of, 6 or 8 hours a day.
Yes.
Not 10 minutes a day. So that would really blow their minds.
Yeah, it is, and it's like, well, you're going to penalize me for being lucky? I'm just using the odds, and so I'm doing well, but I'm not a swing trader.
Don't tell them how you do. Don't tell them how you do it, right? Just like, I get up at 6 and I go to work at 7:30, and between 6:30 and 7:30, I just make a little trade, and so far it's worked out really good for me.
Yeah, and 6:30 is Pacific Coast, and and I do know a lady. She was using the software, and she did really well with it. She took out $1 million. She started out with 2,300, and she just grew it, and eventually she was making $80,000 a month. And because the skill is the same skill, it's just more money equals more money. That's all it is. Money makes more money.
That's right.
So it's not like most people don't think that way. They think, well, there's one me, and I go to work for 8 hours, so I'm going to get 1 times 8 hours. But if you put $100 or 1,000 or 10,000 to work, well, that's more, at work. So you're going to get the same multiplier. You're just going to get more net result. So, anyways, she took $1 million out. She bought a house, closed her account, and then started it all over again. And
cool. So that's the idea. Is like, maybe you've only got $10,000 to start your investing, so you're risking $1,000. So you make 10% on that, it's $100, and it's slow in the beginning because you're only making $100. But before you know it, that $10,000 is worth $50,000, and all of a sudden, instead of making $1,000 trades, you're making $5,000 trades. Instead of making $100, you're making $500, and 500 for those. Let's just assume that you only work 4 days a week instead of 5. So that's $2,000 a week. 4 weeks in a month is $8,000 a month. So most of us can live quite happily on $8,000 a month, particularly if it's in a tax-free savings account in Canada. I don't know what you would do in the United States. I guess you'd have to pay your taxes on it. But
So what?
so what? I mean, that's right. It's still, it's still 10 minutes a day, or
Yeah. There's people working for $8 an hour, $10 an hour, whatever it is, and so they work 8 hours. They make $80 a day, and they're paying tax on that. So if you're making more, just write them a bigger check, but you still keep more. So
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you very much for sharing this, Alan. This is www.wavesofprofit.com. If you want to know a little bit more about the software and how we do this, we've got some training for you, and we've got also the program, and we'll explain how it all works. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow.